Hey everybody, I wanted to post a couple short videos about my backyard chicken coop and run set up here about 3 years ago. I put this together and got 6 chickens and learned some lessons the hard way, did a lot of research, and actually found a few of the things that I researched worked. So I'm going to post a couple short videos. This first one is just going to focus on the chicken coop. This is a repurposed dog house. Started out and then through some modifications, you can see there, turn that into a chicken coop. Put it up on legs just to give me a dry area to store some things underneath there. So I had to build a ramp, as you can see in here. Ramp goes up with some sticks as footing up into the chicken coop. I have some swivel buttons here to give myself a nice wide access into the coop. Bear with me for a moment. Put a little hasp there so I can lock it open. This opening is very, very convenient for cleaning out the chickens, or cleaning out the coop. You can see down here there's a couple logs for them to perch on. I did, because this was a reused dog house, I had to make sure that I put silicone on all the points of the nails so the birds wouldn't injure themselves. And because there's not a lot of room for them to fly up on the perch, I did put a little ramp for them to climb up, which they seem to use. This chicken coop houses currently 6 adult birds. It has room for a couple more, but it is pretty tight. I put some linoleum down here. You can see the edge right here. Some self-stick linoleum squares that really helps to prevent any of the liquid or poop from sticking or soaking into the wood on the bottom. It makes it easy to kind of hose out and spray with bleach and clean out. So that was a good tip that I had seen on YouTube. Just have some pine shavings as bedding. I'll go over to the other side here. In the back you can see I cut a window in that has some hardware cloth to prevent any predators from getting in. In the cold months, we're just now coming out of winter into spring, but I did have a piece of plexiglass to keep the wind from blowing directly through. You can see there still is a gap to leave air circulation, which is very important. That ugly white is caulking. We did have a pretty big nor'easter, and I tried at the last minute to seal up some of the cracks, which it did do, but it definitely needs to be taken out and recaulked. This nest box I built off the side of the dog house. You can see here, just have a little piece of rubber to protect the inside of the coop from water and cold air blowing in. I have another hasp, which again is really important to make sure that you keep everything locked up tight to prevent predators. Even raccoons will use their ingenuity to open up doors if they're not locked. So you can see inside here I have 3 nest boxes. Basically just built this cantilevered out off of the dog house. I have a little, right here, I have a little board that just prevents them from kicking the nest material out of the nest box. And again, underneath I have linoleum squares to keep it clean. For the most part they don't poop in there too much, but they will break eggs occasionally, so it's good to have that linoleum in there. And 3 nest boxes should be more than enough for 6 chickens. They tend to use at most 2 at any given time, but they will change from one nest box to the other. So we have these dividers in there as well, which can be removed with a couple screws if I really wanted to clean everything out. And then just put this aluminum flashing as the roof material. And then underneath, you can see it's nice and sandy. The birds love to take dirt baths underneath there when we let them out, which is as much as possible. And I just have a couple buckets there, one for fresh water, one for all the bedding and poop that I scoop out, and an old dustpan that I made just to really, it helps a lot to get the material out of the nest boxes. And then I do use a hoe just to kind of scrape all the poop off the bottom of the coop and get that out, put it in the bucket where then it goes back into my compost. In the future, I would like to enclose this as part of the chicken run, so that way they have a dry area that they can hang out underneath. But till now it stays open. So I hope you enjoyed that. I look forward to posting a few more videos, and if you have any questions, I'd love to answer them. Thanks.